Hey guys, this is Simon from Fateless. Mid-June. We've said that by the end of June, we're going to let you guys know when the alpha is going to drop, which wave you're going to be in, and what all of that means. And the alpha is still on track for July. So lots going on. In this video, we're going to be talking about the different archetypes that the heroes possess. You would have seen these. Last week, I did the kind of like buffs, debuffs, and disables that happen in the game. This week, we're going to be talking about archetypes. By the way, let's just take a second to appreciate the modeling on Baba Yaga. So originally, this was planned to be an epic hero, but she was too damn interesting and cool to not turn into a legendary. So what's going on? We've got basically when she's rigged and animated and stuff, she's going to be inside her little kind of like basket type jobby here with the little chicken legs, which is kind of like homage to the myth of Baba Yaga. She's going to be super sweet. Her weaponry is going to be this skull, and damn, just look how quality the work is on Baba Yaga. Absolutely phenomenal work. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by the fun stuff in game. Let's talk archetypes then. The first one we're going to call out is the Defender. So there's going to be 5 different archetypes. Each hero will have their own archetype, and there will be, I guess, reasons to choose different archetypes. What we wanted when we were originally planning GODFORGE was for, I guess, role to mean something. A bit of a callback to the old RPGs where, you know, you've got your tank, you've got your DPS, you've got your healers. Their positioning matters, their abilities matter, that type of stuff. So we really wanted for that to still be a thing in GODFORGE, but with a more modern take on a turn-based RPG. So a defender here. When all hope is lost, defenders stand resolute in defense of your team, capable of taking the mightiest of blows. Defenders' primary goal is to protect their allies with abilities focused around shield and damage mitigation. First into the breach and last to fall, defenders form the base of any team's defenses. And then from the game design team here, we just got like a little bit of a further breakdown. So what do you tend to get with a defender? We get a higher base defense stats. The damage tends to be in that kind of like mid-range, so they're more a protector for your team. You've got shield type abilities, evasion. Defenders are basically there to either protect your team with buffs or to defend your team with things like deflection and shielding and that type of stuff. And then generally you're going to be looking at highest defense and strong HP, slower speeds generally, and higher resistance. And then when it comes to gearing, let's see if I've actually got some gear that I can show you guys here. There will be different visuals for the different types of gear that's going to go into game real soon. But you see, this is leather plate. Here you go. So a defender will be able to attune to plate mail gear, which will give you additional stats for attunement. But attunement is not working right now, and it won't be in for the alpha. But yeah, this is one of the areas that we're kind of like working on right now. But yeah, plate will be your attunement gear set. And in terms of the attunement bonus, so for defenders, when you're attuning plate gear, for every piece you attune, you will reduce your incoming damage on hit by 1%. So you can get yourself some nice bonuses later in the end game as you start to attune your gear. Okay, then the invokers. So invokers are kind of like your, I guess, your buffer, healer, turn meter pusher, that kind of like offensive support type hero. So invokers restore strength to your team and focus exclusively on empowering your allies in battle. Whilst defenders' goal is to reduce incoming damage, the invokers will focus on healing and enabling your team to increase their potency and power and is critical in any assault. So they'll do things like improve your initiative, improve your speed, improve your turn meter, give you offensive buffs, that type of thing. So that's going to be an invoker's role. In terms of their kind of like stats and stuff, so invokers will generally be like a attack stat for their damage. Their damage range is going to be low, and you know they're kind of like a real team play type mechanic for your squad. So in terms of stats, they're generally going to start with higher initiative, higher speed, and higher resistance. And for gear, they're going to attune with cloth gear. So again, it's really hard for me to see. Just pick one out of nowhere. So they're going to attune with cloth gear. So imagine this, cloth with speed and initiative rolls coming in. Do we get juicy rolls? No, not really. But then it is a damage piece, so it's one of the worst pieces. But anyway, yeah, cloth is going to be the thing that you attune to. And for an invoker, you will get plus 1% outgoing healing and turn meter boosts multiplier per piece of gear you attune to. Okay, then let's move on to the next one. Let's go with a brawler. So Herc, a brawler. In the heat of battle, wounds are merely minor annoyances to brawler heroes whose bloodlust and battle frenzy fuel their strength and resilience. They lack the raw damage output of slayers and care little for their team's survival, but their resilience allows them to fight for longer, often trading health for gains in power. So a brawler generally is kind of like your frontline melee unit or frontline unit that can soak up a decent amount of damage themselves, but they're not like a tank class. So we will generally see a lot of HP. Let me just get my info from the dudes here so I get this right. Yeah, primary stat boost is going to be HP. Their damage range is generally high, but they don't have such a good like team play mechanics. They're generally more solo dudes. Their damage is often scaling with HP as well as attack. Their damage range can go really high. And yeah, let's just check out an ability here for Herc as an example. So he scales with attack, but also percentage HP for his different abilities, as you can see here. And yeah, that's generally going to be how and you see here for his ult, he's actually stacking more and more HP the more he ults. So quite a fun mechanic here in Herc's 12 Labors ability. For gearing then, so these guys are going to be building out their HP. We've got chainmail. I feel like I've seen much chainmail in my random gear dropper. Have I seen any? This could be a bug for the team. Have I seen any chainmail drop yet? I'm not sure that I have. Or it's just got like crazy low drop rates. Interesting. Okay, that's good. That's good to pick these things up even whilst I'm recording. So chainmail. For brawlers, they're going to gain 0.5% bonus all stats for every piece of chainmail that they eventually attune when that goes into the game. All right then, what we got left? We've got disruptors and we have got slayers. So let's find a disruptor who is basically going to be your like main debuffer. So Yan Wang, by the way, looking pretty sweet. Very scary. Lighting still needs another pass on this guy. Some of the textures as well. But anyway, Yang Wang is a disruptor. Manipulation of the balance of power in battle is the principal role of disruptors. They focus on applying powerful disables and debuffs on your foes whilst manipulating turn order and divinity powers. When pure power fails, the disruptor will be lurking in the shadows to control the battle in their favor. So yeah, let's just have a quick read through what the team have sent me here. So generally their primary damage stat is attack. They will have a lower damage range, but they're fought highly in team play. Their highest stats tend to be speed and initiative to get their abilities away, mid-range survival, and yeah, lower attack, but not like bottom of the pile. So again, I don't think Yan Wang's abilities are in. Oh, they are. Some of them are in, are they? So you would see... No, I don't think these are his abilities. So yeah, you would see things like, decrease defense, decrease initiative on the enemy, things like confuse. I wonder if my buddy here, Mordred, is also a disruptor. Yes, he is. So Mordred's got things like corrupt on his abilities. He's got confuse, which is a very powerful debuff, and things like that. So that's what you're going to get from your disruptors. Basically controlling the fight and making the rest of your team have a stronger chance to win the battle. So disruptors will attune to Nightweave. Again, I don't know if I've seen Nightweave either. I feel like these two sets are currently not dropping in our tier sets. But yeah, disruptors will get Nightweave or attune to Nightweave later on. And Nightweave will when attuned on a disruptor, ignore 1% of the enemy's resistance per piece that is attuned. Lastly then, we've got Slayers, which is going to be the kind of the damage dealer, the out and out cannon for your team. So Slayer heroes are specialized combatants designed to annihilate enemy foes swiftly and effectively on the battlefield, possessing less defensive capability than other archetypes. Slayers trade resilience for unmatched offensive prowess, enabling them to consistently output and sustain high damage. So yeah, these are going to be your DPS of the team, the people that are going to take down the bosses with raw damage, or potentially with damaging debuffs as well. So you might find that some Slayers have got some of the more, I guess, dot type debuffs or burns or that type of stuff. So their general damage stat is going to be attack, their damage range ultra high, their team play pretty low, other than we're killing stuff, therefore you stay alive. And then generally we'll find these are where we get the highest attack stats from our heroes. In terms of gear, they will attune to leather items. Thankfully, leather is in the game. And in terms of what they gain for their attunement, so they will get an extra 1% outgoing on-hit damage bonus for every piece of leather that is attuned to them once we get attunement in the game. So yeah, hopefully that was interesting. We do obviously have some other things on the kind of like hero makeup as well. So we've got affinity, so we've got wisdom, which generally will be like caster type champions. We've got cunning, which is going to be generally your kind of like melee type dudes. We've got strength, and we've also got eternal as the sort of 4 different affinities in the game. And then each of the heroes has either got an alignment to chaos or order, and there will be a lot of a kind of like narrative and lore focused around these alignments. They will mean a lot more in sort of storytelling for us, but also when we get a bit further down the line in terms of content, you know, there's a good chance we will have a tower that focuses on chaos and a tower that focuses on order, or at least the enemies you fight, etc., like chaos going against order, that type of thing. And there's a good chance there will be things like seasonal content drops where, I don't know, we might mutate a dungeon to align themselves with a certain chaos or order. So those type of things are things we're playing with at the moment. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. I've been Simon from Fateless. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and come and join our Discord. I'll see you in the next one.